Ever get stuck grading like a ton of student essays?
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it takes forever.
Mm-hmm.
And it can feel like so subjective, right?
Totally.
Like, is this a B plus or an A?
Yeah, yeah.
So now imagine those essays are actually code
Okay.
written by AI.
Uh-huh.
And you have to figure out, is this AI any good?
It's a whole other level.
That's the challenge that some researchers actually tackled in a paper we're diving into today.
Yeah, and it's not just some theoretical thing.
Oh, really?
AI writing code is becoming so common now,
It's true.
but actually being able to evaluate it objectively, that's a huge bottleneck.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, how do we know if the code is actually good or not?
Right, right. So that's where this paper we're looking at comes in. It's called Agent as a Judge. Evaluate agents with agents.
Okay, catchy title.
I know, right.
But the idea is seriously cool.
So are you ready to break this down?
Let's do it. So the paper basically asks, how do we evaluate AI-generated code fairly? Because like we were saying, right now we're stuck with either these super basic methods, like just checking if the code runs, or we have to rely on human experts to go through everything line by line, which takes forever.
And it's probably super expensive to hire all those experts.
Exactly. And it's not always consistent because everyone's got their own style, right?
Yeah, for sure. So how did the researchers in the paper actually approach this problem?
They got really hands-on. They built something called DevAI.
Okay.
It's a data set of 55 real-world tasks that AI developers would actually face.
Like what kind of tasks are we talking about?
Things like, building a speech emotion recognition system or a sales forecasting tool, all using real-world data.
So it's not just write code that does X.
No, it's way more nuanced than that. They even factored in things like user preferences to make it super realistic.
So it's like write code that does X, but make sure it can talk to this other system. And oh, by the way, the client wants the button to be more blue. Wow. So how did they test it out? Did they throw the DevAI tasks at some unsuspecting AI and see what happened?
Well, they first wanted to set a benchmark. So they had three expert human AI developers
Okay.
evaluate code from three different AI agents.
So it's like AI code versus AI code judged by human experts.
Exactly. A good old-fashioned coding showdown. But here's the thing.
Don't tell me the experts all disagreed.
There were definitely some differences, yeah. Which is interesting because it highlights how even seasoned AI pros have slightly different ideas of what good code actually looks like.
Yeah.
And this subjectivity is where their agent as a judge comes in.
Okay, hold on. The AI that judges other AIs. That's next level. So how does this agent as a judge thing even work?
It's not about completely replacing humans.
Okay.
It's more like scaling up human judgment, making it more consistent and efficient.
So give those expert opinions, like superpowers.
Exactly. This agent as a judge digs deep, looking not just at the final code, but the AI's whole thought process along the way.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. Walk me through how it works.
So there are 5 key modules. First up, you got the graph module. Think of it like a blueprint.
Okay.
This module maps out the entire project structure.
So it sees the big picture, not just lines of code.
Exactly. It understands the AI's game plan. Then you've got locate. This module pinpoints specific files related to each requirement.
Like a superpowered search bar for code.
Yes. And then there's read. This one's really cool. It doesn't just read the text of the code, it actually understands it.
Wow, that's impressive.
Like it understands the logic, the structure, even images, everything.
So it actually gets what the AI was going for.
Precisely. Then we have retrieve.
Okay.
That pulls out the essential information from the AI's decision making.
So it's like highlighting the aha moment.
Like, you got it! And finally, there's ask.
Okay.
This module takes all the evidence gathered and figures out, did the AI solution actually meet the requirements?
So it's not just about whether the code works, it's about understanding the why behind it.
Exactly. It's about evaluating the process as much as the result.
Fascinating. So what happened when they put this agent as a judge to the test?
Yeah.
Did it actually work?
This is where it gets really exciting. Remember those human experts and how their judgments differed a bit?
Yeah.
Well, not only did the agent as a judge do a better job than traditional evaluation methods, but it actually aligned incredibly well with the overall consensus of the human experts.
Whoa, so it's faster, it's cheaper, and it's more in line with expert opinion.
You got it.
That's amazing. What are the implications of this? Could this change how we evaluate AI in the future?
It could be a total game changer. Just imagine a world where AI systems are not just writing code, but they're actually learning to judge each other's work and pushing each other to improve.
It's like AI teaching AI.
Exactly.
That's wild. But what about the humans? Does this mean human programmers are obsolete?
That's a great question, and one we'll dive into right after this.
So we've got AI judging AI, which is already kind of blowing my mind.
It's pretty wild.
But where does that leave, like, us humans, the human programmers? Are we all out of a job?
That's the big question, right? Is this the end of coding as we know it?
Right, because if AI can write code and then judge the code, what do we need humans for?
Well, it's not that simple. I think this research actually points to something way more interesting, something more collaborative.
Collaborative, like humans and AI working together.
Exactly. It's not about replacing human judgment altogether, but more about understanding it better, making it even more powerful.
Okay, so more like AI giving us a super boost, not kicking us to the curb.
Exactly. Think about it for a second. That AI can spot errors, inconsistencies super fast, way faster than we can.
Sure, it's like they've got superhuman code vision or something.
Right, but it's still us humans who get to decide what good code actually means in the first place. We set the goals, the standards, the whole vision for the project.
So we're like the architects and the AI is like our super efficient construction crew, bringing that vision to life.
Perfect analogy. We provide the creativity, the big picture thinking, and the AI helps us execute it flawlessly, catching any little mistakes along the way.
That makes a lot of sense. This could be huge for the world of coding,
Yeah.
but I can't help but wonder, could this agent as a judge tech be used for other stuff too?
Oh, absolutely. We're just scratching the surface here.
Like what else could it do?
Well, imagine this technology being used in scientific research, for example. AI could analyze massive data sets, propose new hypotheses, even help design experiments.
Oh, it's like having an army of AI research assistants working around the clock.
Exactly. And that's just one example. Think about education. AI could provide personalized feedback on student work tailor lessons to their individual needs. It could totally revolutionize how we learn.
It's like having a personal tutor for every student. That's amazing what other fields could benefit from this.
No, tons. Healthcare, finance, even creative fields anywhere. You need some kind of evaluation judgment. This technology could be a game changer.
It sounds like we're on the edge of something really big here. But with any new technology, especially something this powerful, there are bound to be some challenges, some things we need to be careful about, right?
You're absolutely right. We can't just assume this technology will be used for good. We have to be proactive about identifying and addressing potential issues.
So what are some of those potential issues? What do we need to be on the lookout for?
One of the biggest ones is bias.
Bias, like the AI being unfair in its judgments?
Exactly. We need to make sure these AI judges are trained on data that's diverse, representative, free from any harmful biases. Otherwise, they'll just perpetuate those biases in their evaluations.
That makes sense. So it's not just about building a smart AI. It's about building a fair and ethical AI as well.
Right. And that means being very careful about the data we use to train these systems and constantly monitoring them for any signs of bias.
So it's an ongoing process, not a one-time fix.
Exactly. It requires constant vigilance and a willingness to adjust course if we see something's not quite right.
What else should we be thinking about?
Transparency and accountability are also super important.
You mean being able to understand how these AI judges are making their decisions?
Yes, we don't want these systems to become these mysterious black boxes where we have no idea how they're arriving at their conclusions.
Right. We need to be able to understand the reasoning behind the judgment so we can trust that it's being made fairly and accurately.
And that's actually a really tough challenge right now, developing AI systems that can not only make accurate judgments, but also explain their reasoning in a way that makes sense to us humans. That's a big one.
So it's not just about the what, it's about the why.
Precisely, and that's going to require some serious breakthroughs in AI research.
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
It seems like we're only just beginning to grasp the full implications of this technology, both the potential benefits and the potential risks.
This agent as a judge technology is still in its early stages, but it has the potential to revolutionize how we evaluate and improve AI across a wide range of fields.
It's exciting and a little bit daunting at the same time.
It is, but that's the thing about being on the cutting edge of technology. There's always a sense of wonder and a little bit of healthy fear.
Speaking of cutting edge, this research focused on evaluating code, but the researchers hinted at broader applications. What are some avenues for future research that you find particularly interesting?
One that really gets me excited is the idea of AI systems not just judging each other's work, but actually learning from those judgments to improve their own performance.
So AI systems that are constantly evaluating each other and getting better over time, that's pretty mind-blowing.
It is, imagine a system where AI agents are constantly pushing each other to improve, creating this incredibly dynamic, self-improving ecosystem.
It's like AI bootstrapping itself to higher and higher levels of intelligence.
Exactly, and that's just one possibility. Another fascinating area is developing AI judges that can handle a wider range of tasks beyond code evaluation.
Like what?
Well, think about assessing things like creativity, empathy, even ethical decision-making, things that we traditionally think of as uniquely human.
Wow, AI evaluating creativity and empathy. Now that's a deep dive for another day.
Definitely. But it highlights the incredible potential of this technology to push the boundaries of what we thought AI could do.
It seems like we're entering a whole new era of AI development, one where the line between human and artificial intelligence is becoming increasingly blurred.
We are, and this agent as a judge research is a major step in that direction. It's a powerful tool that, when used responsibly and thoughtfully, could have a profound impact on our world.
It's really amazing to think about how far AI has already come.
Right.
Like from just writing code to now potentially judging things we thought were like uniquely human.
It's a huge leap.
It is. It's a lot to take in. But before we go too far down that road, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier
Okay.
about AI not just replacing human judgment, but actually helping us understand our own judgment better.
Yes. That's a really important point. I'm glad you brought it back up.
Because it seems like a key part of this whole thing.
It is. It's about more than just efficiency or automation. It's about gaining a deeper understanding of ourselves.
So how does this agent as a judge actually do that?
Well, remember how the researchers had those human experts evaluate the code
Yeah.
and how their judgments differed slightly?
Right.
Well, by comparing the AI's judgments to the human judgments, the researchers were able to spot those inconsistencies.
So the AI wasn't just judging the code, it was also kind of judging the judges.
Exactly. It was like holding up a mirror to human decision-making, revealing the nuances and potential biases in how we make judgments.
Wow. So it's like the AI saying, hey, humans, you might want to double check your own thinking here.
Exactly. And that's incredibly valuable because it forces us to examine our own assumptions, our biases, even our definitions of what good actually means.
That's a really powerful idea, that AI can help us become more aware, more insightful, even in areas where we thought we were the experts.
It's a whole new way of thinking about the relationship between humans and AI. It's not about one replacing the other. It's about both sides learning from each other and growing together.
It's like having an AI partner that's not just helping us do things better, but also helping us think better.
Precisely. And that's a really exciting prospect as we continue to develop and integrate AI into more and more aspects of our lives.
It is exciting and a little bit intimidating, too.
Of course, any new technology comes with its own set of challenges and questions, but that's part of what makes this field so fascinating.
It definitely keeps things interesting. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the technical details of this agent as a judge to the broader philosophical implications of AI and human judgment.
We have, and I think this research raises some really important questions about the future of AI and its role in our world.
Questions that we'll continue to explore as this technology continues to evolve.
Yeah.
But for now, I think that's all the time we have.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. Be sure to subscribe to the show and leave us a rating wherever you listen to podcasts.